The story of the Amber Room is one of unparalleled artistry, a testament to the grandeur of 18th century European royalty. It began not in Russia, but in Prussia, under the ambitious eye of King Frederick I. He envisioned a chamber unlike any other, a room paneled entirely in the fossilized resin known as amber. The project was entrusted to the brilliant German Baroque sculptor Andreas Schlüter. Gottfried Wolfram, a Danish amber master, was tasked with bringing the intricate designs to life. For years, they toiled, transforming raw, honey-colored stones into magnificent wall panels. Each panel was a masterpiece, inlaid with gold leaf and adorned with glittering mirrors. The result was a room that seemed to capture and hold the very essence of sunlight. It was destined to be the showpiece of the Charlottenburg Palace in Berlin. However, fate, as it often does, had other plans for this treasure. In 1713, King Frederick I and his son, Frederick William I, ascended the throne. New king was a pragmatist, a man of military discipline, with little taste for such lavish artistry. The magnificent, but incomplete, Amber Room was packed away into crates and put into storage. Meanwhile, in Russia, Tsar Peter the Great was forging a powerful empire. He sought an alliance with Prussia against their common rival, Sweden. In a grand gesture of diplomacy, Frederick William had offered the created Amber Room to the Tsar. Peter, a great admirer of art and culture, was overjoyed by the gift. In return, he sent the Prussian king what he truly valued: 55 of his tallest soldiers. The 18 massive boxes containing the room were shipped to St. Petersburg. For decades, the panels remained in storage, awaiting a worthy setting. It was Empress Elizabeth, Peter's daughter, who finally decided to unveil its beauty. She commanded it be installed in the Winter Palace, but the space was too small. The Italian architect Bartolomeo Francesco Rastrelli was tasked with the project. In 1755, the Empress decided on a new, grander location, the Catherine Palace in Tsarskoye Selo. Rastrelli redesigned the room, expanding it to fit the new, larger space. He incorporated more amber, sent from Berlin, and added more gilded carvings and mirrors. By 1770, under Catherine the Great, the Amber Room was finally complete. It covered over 55 square meters and contained over 6 tons of amber. Contemporaries called it the 8th wonder of the world. The candlelight from the chandeliers would dance on the panels, creating a mesmerizing, fiery spectacle. For nearly 2 centuries, it stood as a symbol of Russian imperial power and artistic achievement. Generations of czars held audiences within its shimmering walls. The Russian Revolution came and went, yet the room remained a treasure of the new state. But a dark storm was gathering in the West. In June 1941, Adolf Hitler launched Operation Barbarossa, the invasion of the Soviet Union. German forces advanced with terrifying speed towards Leningrad, the city now known as St. Petersburg. Curators at the Catherine Palace knew they had to save the treasures. They attempted to disassemble the Amber Room for evacuation. But the amber, after centuries, had become dry and brittle. It began to crumble at their touch. Fearing its complete destruction, they made a desperate decision. They tried to hide it in plain sight. They covered the magnificent walls with a thin layer of wallpaper, hoping the invaders would overlook it. The deception was clever, but ultimately futile. The Nazis knew exactly what they were looking for: On October 14th, 1941, German soldiers arrived at the Catherine Palace. They marched directly to the room and tore away the wallpaper. Within 36 hours, they had dismantled the entire chamber. The treasure was packed into 27 crates. It was shipped by a train to Königsberg, a German city in East Prussia. Königsberg Castle became the new home for the stolen masterpiece. The director of the Königsberg Art Museum, Alfred Rodi, was a passionate amber expert. He oversaw the room, studying its history and construction. But the tide of the war was turning. By late 1943, Allied bombs began to rain down on German cities. Rode was advised to dismantle the amber room once again and secure it. The panels were carefully packed back into their crates. In August 1944, a massive Royal Air Force bombing raid devastated Königsberg. The castle was heavily damaged, its great halls reduced to burning rubble. This is where the trail of the amber room goes cold. What happened to the crates in the chaos of the fire and the subsequent Soviet assault? This question has haunted treasure hunters, historians, and governments for over 70 years. One theory is that the room was simply destroyed in the fires that consumed the castle. The intense heat could have melted the amber panels into unrecognizable resin. Soviet investigators who sifted through the ruins after the war found no definitive traces. But many believe this explanation is too simple. Another popular theory is that the crates were moved from the castle before the final assault. Perhaps they were loaded onto a ship, destined for a safer location in Germany. Some point to the tragic sinking of the MV Wilhelm Gustloff in the Baltic Sea. The ship was sunk by a Soviet submarine, taking thousands of refugees and potentially the treasure to a watery grave. Divers have explored the wreck, but the amber room has never been found. A third theory suggests the treasure was hidden somewhere in the vast network of mines and bunkers near Königsberg. Treasure hunters have spent decades searching these underground tunnels. They have followed old maps, deathbed confessions, and cryptic clues. Some have even claimed to have found it, only for their claims to be disproven. The search has been plagued by mystery and sometimes tragedy. Over the years, a few tantalizing clues have surfaced. In 1997, German authorities received a tip. They were investigating the son of a German soldier who had been involved in the packing of the room. In his possession, they found an original stone mosaic that had decorated the amber room. A small piece was proof that not everything had been destroyed. It reignited the hope that the rest of the room might still be out there, waiting to be found. While the search for the original continued, a monumental task was underway back in Russia. In 1979, the Soviet government approved a project to build a replica of the Amber Room. It was an audacious undertaking, requiring immense skill and resources. For 24 years, craftsmen and women worked tirelessly. They used the original drawings and old photographs as their guide. They had to rediscover the lost techniques of the 18th century masters. The project cost millions of dollars and used tons of new amber. And in 1923, to celebrate the 300th anniversary of St. Petersburg, the new amber room was unveiled. It is a breathtaking reconstruction, a stunning tribute to the lost original. Visitors can once again step inside and be surrounded by the warm, golden glow. But the replica, for all its beauty, cannot solve the mystery. The fate of the original Amber Room remains one of the greatest unsolved puzzles of the Second World War. Is it lying at the bottom of the Baltic Sea? Is it buried in a forgotten mine in Poland or the Czech Republic? Was it secretly spirited away by a rogue Nazi official? Or did it simply burn to ash in the fires of Königsberg? The mystery endures, a ghost of history, a whisper of lost beauty. It continues to fuel the imagination and the relentless hope of discovery. Amber Room was born from a king's vision in a time of peace. It was crafted by the hands of dedicated artists who poured their souls into the work. It became a symbol of alliance between two great European powers. For 2 centuries, it dazzled all who saw it in the heart of the Russian Empire. The room witnessed the fall of emperors and the rise of new ideologies. Its attempted hiding was an act of cultural desperation against a coming tide. Its theft was a calculated act of cultural plunder, part of a systematic looting of art. Its brief display in Königsberg was a fleeting moment of misplaced pride. The bombing of the city was a brutal act of modern warfare. The final disappearance occurred in the fog of war's end. The post-war search was a needle in a haystack operation across a devastated continent. The destruction of Königsberg Castle by the Soviets buried secrets forever. The discovery of the single mosaic was a spark in the darkness. The reconstruction was an act of defiance against loss and destruction. The new room is a beautiful child, but the parent is still missing. Each new clue, each new theory, adds another layer to the legend. The Amber Room is more than just a lost treasure. It is a story. It is a story of human creation and human destruction, of beauty and violence. And until the final crate is found, that story will never truly have an end.